Welcome back to the Gun Dungeon, guys. As you can tell from the clip and the title, this is the XDM versus the Glock 29 3.8 XDM, of course. In the review of the XDM 3.8, I mentioned I would do this video. Got a lot of requests for it. So here we are. We have the XDM 3.8 and the Glock 29 out here on the range. So let's talk about them a little bit, and then we'll do some shooting. I got some things I want to point out with each of them. All right, guys, so as I said, XDM 3.8 versus Glock 29. Now, one of the first things you're going to notice is they are very, very similar. Let me line up the actual back of the slide. In size, width, length, grip length, all of that, they are very, very similar. Weight, very, very similar. Glock maybe just a little bit chunkier. I haven't looked at the weight specs. I'm just going based on how they feel to me, which the top of the XDM slide is tapered some, so that would take a little bit of mass out. Now, both of these guns do have aftermarket sights on them. I like night sights on my small compact guns to carry, so that's what both of them have. HD Trigicons on the Glock, and I believe these are True Glow on the XDM. Either way, basically the same sights. I used to run a Lone Wolf barrel in the Glock 29. I've put the factory barrel back in for this video because that's going to play a factor with a couple things that I want to talk about. Now, as I said, the sizes are fairly close to the same, but that's because I put the flush fit floor plate on the XDM magazine that I have out here, and I took the mag well off. It does come factory with an 11 round mag, which means it has a +1 floor plate that I took off. This comes with the 10 round mag, and you can get extensions, the Pierce +1 extension floor plates and such for the Glock 29, but it doesn't come with them. The XDM comes with both options, which is a good thing in my opinion. So I have some Underwood ammo out here. This is some 220 grain hard cast stuff, so pretty heavy loaded stuff. I have some 180 grain Berries hybrid bullets here. These are plated bullets, but they are loaded warm. I have some hot coated bullets here. These are some 200 grain hard casts, I do believe. And then I have some S&B factory weak sauce full metal jacket stuff. And we're going to shoot some of each. I've got targets here. I'm going to set up. We're going to shoot off this little rest and see how they do with loads that are different, bullet constructions, different speeds, velocities, things of that nature. If you watch the video on the Glock 29, I did have some issues with the hot coated bullets and the plated bullets. So we'll see if that remains true today. I think that it will. But let's go ahead and shoot some with them, and then we'll set up the targets and get to shooting some groups. So felt recoil is going to be a big deal with a carry 10mm. So what I've done is I've loaded up the heavy hard cast Underwood ammo, 5 of each in each gun. And I've never shot these guns back to back to gauge which one has more felt recoil, or even if there is a difference. The only time I've shot them together is in the intro when I was being goofy. So let's go ahead and shoot 5 from the Glock 29, and then I'll shoot 5 from the XDM, and I'll tell you if I tell any difference in the felt recoil or not. There may not be any. Oh, better grab my glasses. Shooting steel, always wear safety glasses. A handful. Let's try the XDM. Locked open with a round still in. Well, that was a first for that. Looks like the Glock 29's taking an early lead. So as far as felt recoil, I couldn't really tell a difference. The one thing I could tell a difference about, though, is the XDM has a lot harsher stippling on the grip than the Glock 29. That may be different with the Gen 5 models, but with this Gen 3, it's not as aggressive. So I could tell a difference in the palm of my hand getting that harsh recoil, that the XDM felt a little bit more abrasive, and you could definitely tell it was full power 10 millimeter. Whereas the Glock 29, it didn't hit the hand that same way just because of the stippling. All right, now I've got some of the 180 grain plated bullets in here. These are still pretty hot loads, a little lighter bullet though. So I'm gonna start with the XDM first, then we'll go to the Glock 29. Those actually felt like they had more recoil than the Underwoods. But again, my observation is basically the same. The recoil feels the same between the two. The XDM just has a lot more aggressive stippling. Today's video is brought to you by Vetter Holsters. I'd like to thank them for helping the channel out. Here's one of the products they sent over for me. This one fits my 365 XL with the red dot on it. You see it's cut for that. Also has the claw feature on it, keeps that butt tucked in closer to your body. Another example is this holster for the HK VP9. This is their outside the waistband model. Just look at that cool pattern on that. Excellent retention, great products. So if you want to go help them out, which they help me out, so it works out both ways, I'll put a link to their website below. Go check out Vetter Holsters. All right, guys, so as you can tell, I have a paper target downrange. I have 2 dots on it. I'm going to start off with this S&B factory 10 millimeter weak sauce stuff here, just to establish a base. I'm going to be resting on this right here. It's not a super bench accurate type rest or anything, but it is going to make me a little bit better as opposed to just shooting offhand. So I'm going to start out with the Glock 29. We'll shoot 5 rounds of each. Well, I better get the right magazine, hadn't I? Magazines are not interchangeable, in case you all were wondering. Okay, so I definitely jerked that first shot. So the low left shot that you're gonna see, that was the very first one, and I jerked it like crazy. Let's try the XDM. Let me go get that and we'll take a look. So there we go. This is the Glock 29. That was that first shot I was telling you about. Disregard that one. Here's the other 4 shots. You can see also the typical Glock 6 o'clock hold where you're going to shoot a little bit high, and the XDM shoots more point of aim to the top of the front sight. But there's 2 holes there, 1 there, and then the other 2 here. So it's a pretty good group. If you count just these 4 and then these 5, they're not terribly different. Point of aim's definitely different. That was all me, like I said. So now what I've done is I've got another target set up there. And I've got the mags loaded with these hot 180 grain plated bullets. I think we're gonna see a little bit of a difference here. I'm gonna go ahead and start with the XDM, maybe. I grab the right gun and shoot the right target. It's twice now that that's happened. I don't know if it's me or the gun, but I'm gonna try to keep my thumbs away this time. Thumb was definitely away that time. So that second to last shot, I don't know what happened to me on that one. I just went full noob and pulled that one like crazy. All right, let's put 5 of these through the Glock 29. All right, guys, let's go take a look. Now, this is going to be load specific to this load, and I've had the same instance with some some coated bullets that were loaded warm as well. But this is from the XDM. That was the one I pulled like crazy. And these 4 are from the Glock 29. Don't know where the 10th shot is at all. But as you can see, pretty sporadic group from the Glock, but you also get signs of keyholing from the Glock 29 polygonal barrel. And like I said, that is a plated bullet. That's not a bare lead bullet. That's not a coated bullet. Those are plated. And a lot of people may say, well, the bullet's going too fast for plating. Well, you don't have that issue out of the XDM. They're match grade barrels, what it says on it, with traditional conventional rifling in the barrel. You don't have that issue out of that one. Or do I have it out of my full size XDM? They don't keyhole out of it either. But this is an example of what I wanted to show. And like I said, the Lone Wolf barrel took care of it, but I did have to swap barrels to be able to shoot the plated and the coated hot rounds out of the 10mm. All right, guys, so when it comes down to it, we had a couple failures with this XDM. Not sure what the deal is with that. I may need to go to a heavier recoil spring. Not sure what's happening there, maybe a mag issue. Did have a couple failures with that though, so that may make this the clear winner for you. In my opinion, what it comes down to mainly is what do you like more? What fits your hand better? What feels better to you? Which trigger feels better? The triggers are vastly different, but both are good. Neither of the triggers are bad. As far as features, I mean, they're identical. I mean, you've got a slide stop, slide release, and you've got a trigger and a mag release. That's what you've got. Now, this one doesn't have ambi, slide release, slide stop. The XDM does, of course. Personally, I don't care about that. I would rather something be reversible than ambi, if I'm being honest about it, because I don't want some of the stuff in the way. And that may be what was happening to make the slide lock open. Maybe it was the trigger finger actually coming up under recoil and hitting it. I doubt it, but maybe, could be, potentially. So I don't like unnecessary controls on my guns. But when it comes down to it, they're both excellent 10mm. They're very, very close in size, weight. Like I said, it's going to be personal preference. Both of them are great shooters. And if you find a load that this factory barrel likes, that you like, go for it. You're going to have more options with this barrel as far as what it'll shoot well, because it's not polygonally rifled. Now, like I said, when it goes to the 29, the Gen 5 barrels are supposed to be a little bit different. Maybe it's more friendly to plated and coated bullets, maybe it's not. I can't say for sure. This is a Gen 3 SF model. So when it comes down to picking one for me, I'm gonna keep them both. That's what I'm gonna do. So I hope you liked today's video. If you did, don't forget to hit like and subscribe, guys. And as always, till next time, stay tuned.